So this is the class 18 class. So till now, like right, what are the topics completed? Yes, with this, please tell me. One guy is asking here.
Order to cash internal sale order back to PS4.
Okay. So with this, you wanted to discuss anything? You raised your hand, right? That's fine. So till now, all the cycles completed almost, right? So P2P, O2C, then ISO, drop shipment, back to back. Okay. So majority of the cases, if you learn these two, then the rest of the flows, you don't need to focus much. Even in interviews also, they will focus either P2P or O2C, or sometimes both. Okay. So these are all additionally they will ask, but still we should work. Okay. Give top priority to these two cycles, and then second priority to these three. And after that, XML publisher. XML publisher not fully completed. There are 3 more points we need to discuss. Okay. Now, the next will be here is conversions, outbound interfaces. Okay, RDF reports. And then right now I'm talking about here forms personalizations. Okay, so we can alter the form by using this feature. Alternatively, we have custom PLL, custom.pll. It's a program link library. Okay, compared to custom PLL, form personalization is advantageous. The reason is we can do everything in the from application only. Okay, you don't need to download anything. So simply if I want to go to here in the user defined form, everyone is aware. That's why I'm taking example. If I want to hide this field, right now it is gray mode, right? We can make it yellow color, and then we can decrease the width like this. Right now the width of this date is very less, right? Here also we can decrease it. So we can change we can alter the form, we can say, and we can disable the button. Okay, we can populate the default value like this. So everything we can do. That's called as an forms personalization. Form personalization means altering form like property changes like height, width, color, everything. And the next one is enable, disable. We can enable, disable checkboxes, buttons, and any fields. So the next thing is we can create menus, menu creations. Menu means here, these are all menus here, these menus. There will be a tools menu here, tools. Right now, there is no tools in this. Now, these are all we can enable, disable. We can create extra menus. So these are all we can do. And we can call a form from other form. If you go to here, inventory responsibility. Here, transactions, miscellaneous. And if you can introduce one menu over here. Right now, there is no menu available. Once you click on that menu, we can call one more form. That's called as a calling a form from other form. Menu creation, calling a form from other form. And certain messages, like messages means like pop-up messages, warning, error, this type of messages. You have seen, right? Message, for example, if I take next year, obviously period will not be open. Some message will come, right? These are all called as a messages, error messages. In the whole application, we can control by using this application messages. It may be a warning message, error message, caution. Yes, caution message. Um, note we can say note. I'll show you what are the messages options are there. Go to diagnostics. This is the navigation. Okay, every time we'll go this navigation only to alter any form. Help, diagnostic, custom code, and personalize. Click on this. You go to actions here. You can see the message. Okay, messages are here. These are all error message, warning message, and then caution related. The debug messages are hints. Hints it will give whenever you are working on a form. It will guide you some navigations, hints. These are all the messages. So fixed message. We cannot introduce new. Okay. So it's very easy concept. Regularly we'll get a work in the company also. Similar requirements like enabling, disabling, creating menus, calling a form from other form. And we can change the list of values. For example, if you go here, any form, let's say I want to change the list of values. What I will do, I'll just take for, so this is a LOV, correct? This 3 dots is a LOV. So we need to change this LOV. Right now, there are many list of values coming here, but we need to restrict it to 2 or 3. So these are all not necessary for them. So we need to restrict the LOV. So anything we can do. Okay. The next is what it is, changing LOV, list of values. Then we can enable, disable buttons. So if we go here, say this button, I would like to disable here, transaction lines. I'll tell you the one button, if you know, then rest of the button same navigations. Only you should know the this button name and all. Okay, disable buttons. These are all the examples. Okay. As of now, I told you examples like property changes. Property changes means what it is. So this height, see right now this is big, very big, and this is small. I want to increase this width, for example. Our date is there here, prompting, prompt text. Instead of this date, we have to replace as a transaction date. Okay. Instead of downloading this form and doing alterations with the your form builder, you can see somewhere here form builder. This is the form builder. Okay. Forms are almost outdated. People are preferring now OAF by using this Java developer here. There is already inbuilt tool is there. Simply we should create. Okay. So this I'm thinking to arrange one trainer to teach all this Java developer. If you know core Java, well and good. If you don't know OAF, also no problem. In the company, there are some dedicated OAF developers will be there. But if you know, well and good. In interviews, people are started asking all this. It's easy only. If you create one page, almost all the pages are similar. Okay. If you know core Java, like how we can declare a variables, how we can use package, all those. Anyway, so I'm talking about form builder, right? This form builder is almost outdated, but still we should know what is data block, what is alert, whatever the menus appearing here. Then only we can work with this personalizations. So instead of downloading and modifying through this form, then they have given a good feature, that is a form personalization feature for modifications. Okay. If any new requirement in case of a forms, people are migrating to OA framework by using this Java developer. Remember this. But still, I'll tell you how to design a form, maybe in a next class or something, or I'll give you one video how we can design the form from scratch. Okay. Now you got an idea overview. What I did is we are talking about here form personalization. Form personalization means here altering the form or modifying the form instead of form builder. Okay. Or instead of custom PLL, there is a one more option here. Custom PLL is a library it is. So it is a GUI based change, like from front end application, we can change. What are the changes we can do here is we can do a property changes, disable, enable fields, disable, enable fields. The entire row also we can disable, and we can create a menu. We can call a form from other form, messages, warning messages, all those, changing LOV, disabling button. So these are all I'll discuss. Okay. So first we'll see hiding fields. One more property changes, hiding fields we'll see. It's a very simple requirement. Many cases we need to hide the fields from a form. Okay. So to hide the form, you can first go to system administrator. Then there is a security. You are aware with this form, that's why I'm teaching this. Otherwise, I can take another example also. Right now, I would like to hide this entire field, person followed by this text box also I need to hide. Go to diagnostics, same navigation, whatever the form across Oracle apps. Okay. So this is the one, personalize. Okay. Then whatever the fields, if it is disturbing you, you can enable, disable also. Okay. Right now, I would like to hide the field. You can give any sequence. In the same sequence, it will fire. Hide person field. Okay. So when it has to fire that, when it has to make effect while opening this form, so that is case when new form instance. So block means here header block, condition block, action block, like that. Block means one portion we can say. Record means whatever you are saying, this entire is called as a record. Okay. And the item is one specific field. Validate record. So whenever you are entering purchase order price, whether you are entering any negative or not entering, so those kind of thing is called as a validate. We are validating a field here, and there are so many menus here. Menus you can see in this menu. Right now only two menus option is there. We can add up. So there are around 45 menus are there. These are all special menus. Special menus means you can insert this attachment and you can insert folder or anything. These are all special menus. Okay. Now I am using here when new form instance only. When new form instance means while opening this security is a defined form, it has to make it effect. Okay. Block means what it is? Header block. So this is another block. Okay. This is a header block and this is another block in the form terminology. So go to actions here. The first property. So there are various options here, types, like if you want to pop up a message we can take, or if you want to call any function or any program or any built-ins URLs, we can go with the built-ins. Or if you are creating any menus, you can use a menu. But right now we are changing the property of a field. Property of a field means hiding the field here. Click on property. Then there are various options here. Block name, tab pages. See, this one direct responsibility is one tab, indirect is another tab. Like these are all the tabs. Okay. So you need to see like what is your requirement exactly. Right now we are talking about only item. Item is a field, we can say. And if you are changing LOV, we can go with the LOV. So we'll use all. Okay. So right now item. Target object. On which object you are targeting? Person object, customer. These are all objects. Supplier, whatever you are saying. Okay. If you click on this LOV, it will show all. Now see exactly here. Okay, you are under which skin? See, users, correct? This user. Users dot supplier name is this one. Users dot email is this one. Okay. So right now, what I wanted here is users dot see this prompt you have to see person, correct? This person. Select this. Now, right now, what is the prompt here? It is showing as a person. So this field, if you want to enable or disable, okay, there is a enabled field option is there. Enabled. Get value. Right now it is enabled. If you make it false, then it will not work. Okay, it will be hidden here. Validate. False. Apply now. Okay. After this applying, then we can go to just reopen, then only it will appear. Okay. We can't define. It's not hidden, just
Sir, actually display it, sir.
yeah, correct. I'll see that. Okay. So this field is displayed field. Yeah, displayed option. I can use false. Yeah, it is disabled. In the same way, if you want to hide this fax field, then you can go to diagnostics, personalize. I need to add another one here. Or in the same also we can do multi changes like another property. Okay. So another property is item. Then fax you can check here. This fax option. And the same way. So there are other properties here like we can check item is valid, label changes, then anything like required field we can make yellow color or anything. Then if you want to get the value of it already stored, we can use value and we can change the width here. So based on requirement you can go. So right now it is displayed. Then you can use here false. So click on save, then close this. You whenever you open it, it will fire that. And we can make this user only. For other user, it will be as it is. Okay. So for example, I'm making the changes to make it affect to one particular user, not all the users. Okay. I'm using user here. Username is operations. There's a user. Then save. Now you tell me any one of you like your username. All are using operations only? No, right? Username? Yeah, tell me. Sarla. Password? Yeah. And go to system administrator. It applies to everything. Let me see. Okay. So we made it to wrong one here, correct? Ours is this one. Do you see here? So for this Sarla user, Okay, it's all working here. Person name is showing, fax name is showing, but if you go with the operations user, it will be still hidden only. Let me exit from here. This will hidden. Okay. So at context level, what we can do? We can enter a specific user or specific responsibility. Again, I'll show you. We can make it work to only certain users. That is called as a context. You can see there are 4 areas here. So this is rules area, this one, and this is condition area, and this one is action area. Okay, and one more here is context. So there are 4 areas: rules, conditions, context, and actions. Okay, in the context area, what we can do, we can restrict this change to be effect on one particular user or one particular responsibility. Okay, only for that responsibility only it has to work. The next is site, means obviously if you make any changes, it applies to every user present in the Oracle applications. Site is a least priority, and then you can use a user if you want to restrict any changes. Industry, I'm not sure. Industry, all the industries are there here. Yeah, okay. If your client is having many businesses like travel business or any other aerospace, engineering, as of now I have not used. I've used these 3 regularly. Okay, so you can enter the any user if you want to restrict this particular personalization. Yes, oh no, you can make multiple users. See, there is another user like that. You can keep adding the users. Okay. Responsibilities like your purchasing vision or any order management like that. Multiple we can do. See here. No, as another row we have to do. So here single value only, because this LOV will have only single value like this. So if it is just having one responsibility. If you need another responsibility, then what you have to do? Another row we need to add. Okay. One example is over, and this information is stored into couple of tables here. These are all FND form custom actions. These are one thing. Another thing here is FND rules. Okay, that only we have seen just before. Okay, these are all rules only. The record is already exist. Okay, we deleted just before, right? Custom scope. Okay, scope is like user level, responsible level, like that. Okay, as of now, what we did, we have done the hide field. Only one example. Okay, and the tables are this custom scopes. 4 tables only. Whatever the changes are there here, all in tables. It's easy to migrate from development to production, development to test. Anything else? Scopes, rules, condition. Same only. It comes out of rules only. So there are 3 tables here. Okay. This one and conditions and actions. Navigation here is diagnostics, custom code, personalize. This is the navigation. We can switch off the personalization also. Okay. This custom code and all, we can make it off. Or we can disable, enable. If you feel it is disturbing, others practice thing disturbing here, you can uncheck it. Okay, there is enable, disable, uncheck this. Close. Are you okay with this? So give me one example for form personalization means what will be your answer? Hide field. So the navigation will be here is any form. The form name you don't need to say, like go to first thing. After that, rules region. Rules means like what are you doing? That little description you need to make it. So there are two things here, form level and function level. Function is specific to one area or specific to one form means the entire form. Okay. Then condition here is we have various condition, we have various triggering events. One form may have header block, line block, distribution block. Every block will have a records. Every record will have an item. This record will have items, right? This record is having 3 items now. One is sequence number item, description item. Other one is level item. That's called as an item here. That's called as a record. Okay, the entire record it is. When validate record, why it is required here is we can validate the field, date field, amount field, whether we are entering the negative values or whether we are entering a past dates. These are all comes under when validate record. Menus means here in this tools menus we can introduce. And context area, this is a scope area we can say. We can restrict it to user level, site and responsible. These three you can remember. Industry, it's not that much required. Okay. And tables I mentioned. Clear about this example? Second example we'll see. Second example is calling a form from other form. So from now onwards, all the concepts are easy. Okay, so not that much logic oriented, not that much complicated. In your course, you already crossed the complex stage. It's almost 17, 18 classes completed. Okay, that if you are very thorough, then these are all nothing. Okay, so complicated syllabus, those are all over already. These are all just anyone can understand easily. Calling a form from other form, in other words, we'll call it a zoom. Zoom functionality it is. Zooming means calling a form from any other form from a menu. Okay. I'll tell you the requirement here. Go to inventory. Here there is a transaction form. In O2C and other flows we have seen miscellaneous. Then V1. Okay. So here is the place. You created a miscellaneous receipt transaction lines for any item. Okay. Now you are entering an item. For this item, we are trying to add the quantity. Okay, right now available quantity is 20, correct? And after entering, if you want to see the total, then what you need to do? You need to close again. See, closing is required. Then again go back to, there is a on hand availability, on hand quantity. These are all difficult. If they are checking for 100 items, 100 times they need to close this. Okay, transactions, miscellaneous transaction, again go to on hand availability, on hand. These are all, it's lengthy process, difficult process. So that is the reason why while doing a miscellaneous transaction itself, we need to create one menu here. Once you click on that menu, that form has to come up here. That's why it is called as a calling a form from other form. Okay, Other form is what it is on-hand quantity. For on-hand quantity, we should know the function name. Function name. Go to on-hand availability, on-hand quantity. Here is the place. I'm just knowing the function name. This is the function name. Form name is different. Function name is different. Form may have multiple functions here. The function name is inventory underscore inventory material workbench. This is the function name. This function we have to call. Okay, function name is inventory material workbench. This is a function. In Oracle applications terminology, it's a function. We have to call this. Okay. Now, whenever you are calling, you have to call through a block field. Go to transactions here, miscellaneous. You can go to diagnostics and examine. Earlier I went to custom code personalize. Now it is examine only. Examine will give you here. There is a block name dot field name. Block and field. You have to copy all this. Block name is the field name. If you want to refer something, you can use colon here. Colon is a bind reference. Colon block name dot field name. Okay, you can take a variable. Through that variable, that's called as a global variable here. Global variable. Through global variable, your item has to pass over here, and after that, we will call a function. Through that, it will display the quantity. Okay. So overall, three things we need to remember in this. One is global variable concept. Other one is colon block name dot field name. The next is launching a function. So first go step by step here. Notes is there already. The screenshot I'll take freshly. Okay, first step is what it is. We have to create a menu. As of now, there is no menu attached here. We need to create a menu. Diagnostics, personalize. Because someone already enabled, but it is not appearing, is it? Okay, so this is applied to a particular user. Okay, that's why it is not reflecting to operations user. Okay, if we go to here, if you want to know where exactly you are, you can go to about Oracle applications. You can see your username is operations. Okay, same thing if I change it to operations here. Let's see. Close. Again, it is not. I think we have not saved, is it? Delete this. FND cannot delete context. There is a restriction here. Do you see one menu here? Extra menu, that is on-hand quantity. Click on this. The form came up here. So this is the requirement actually. What we will do, we'll disable that existing, then we'll do our own. Okay, step by step. So first step is we won't write any code. It will be a menu simply. Go to actions here, menu name. Whatever the menu name will take, we'll give a menu label. And second sequence, for that menu only we have to choose as a trigger event. And actions place, first global variable you can take. You remember this, object type is a global variable, target object is item, and property name is value. Earlier we have taken property. You can take default value also if you want. Right now there is no default value it seems. This is called as I told you already, colon is a bind reference. The next is block name dot field name, block name dot field name. Through global variable, item value will come over here. The next is built-in. Built-in is material workbench. So what I'm doing is I'm just disabling this too. Okay. We have to create our own. Clear? Third sequence it is. And you can use anything. Let's say on hand quantity. Menu creation. The first sequence here is, sorry. If you feel you entered wrongly, then there is a clear button here, clear record. You can use this clear. Go to condition. So when it has to appear it, as soon as you open a form, this miscellaneous receipt form, it needs to appear. Okay, then it will be a when new form instance only. After when new form instance, what you can do? You will have to create one menu. So menu name is here. This one. As of now, property is covered. In this example, we'll cover both built-in as well as menu. Menu name is some menus already utilized. Menu one is utilized by Suhas. They've already used this. Now menu two is available right now. Menu two I'm taking. Menu two is what it is. On hand quantity. Menu. Let's check. This menu two is over. Save. So first sequence is over. First sequence, what it will do? In this tools menu, one extra menu will appear that is called as a call and quantity menu. So once we click on that particular menu, it has to launch a function. So which function it has to launch? There is a material workbench, inventory material workbench. Before calling, then we need to pass a item value through this global variable. Okay.
Why we use global variable, sir?
Yeah, because if you want to check the quantity, correct, quantity of your item through global variable only, it will go to that particular form.
Global variable is not
Yeah, global variable is required because we are passing a value from one form to other form, right? That's why global variable is required.
that is true in the block this global variable.
Global variable is from first form, whatever you enter the value. So the value will pass it to the launch a function, second form it is. Through global variable only it will happen. Okay. Now go to second sequence, it is fourth sequence. That is call target function. That is on hand quantity function it is. Okay, now go to actions here. Before going to actions, on that particular menu only, it needs to fire here. If you choose when new form instance, we'll not be able to launch a function. Definitely we need to choose here menu two only. So in the first sequence, whatever the menu you have selected in the actions, same menu we need to use in the condition here. Then only it will work. Okay. Now go to actions here. Here is a place what we need to take. We need to take here global variable. So then after that, target object is item value. So here I mentioned here colon is a reference here. Block name dot field name. This is the block name. Material transaction line dot item. like this. So get value is equivalent to validate could not be validated because of error. There is a space, yes. Validate is required to check the syntaxes only here. So if it is showing as a note, there is no error here. Click on OK. Then second one is what it is. Once you pass that value through that global variable, we have to call a target built-in here. Built-in. So built-in, there are so many built-ins here. You can launch form, you can launch the website URL, anything, and we can execute PLSQL procedure, and we can do DDL operations. Okay. We can change the list of values. So right now what we need to do, there is a launch function here. Do you see here? Launch a function. So these are all existing. So you cannot go beyond whatever the values mentioned in this list. That only we have to use. So launch a function, and your material workbench related function we noted somewhere. This is the inventory material workbench. So once you enter here, once you press tab, it has to bring a function name automatically if it is already there. It's already available in this list. So that's why if you click on function name, it's picking automatically. From where this material workbench is coming is from this particular list of values, like this. So function code, function name, and then any parameters it has. Okay, clear? Select this. It is showing here workbench. Click on save. That's it. Two things here. One is first menu creation. Second one is once we click on that menu, built-in. Built-in, what is the built-in name here? That is a launcher function. That's it. When it will fire, see right now still it is not appearing. On hand quantity is just click on this. Yeah, it's okay. In this particular form only it is showing. Go to tools, call on hand quantity is showing. Okay. So that's about the second example. I'll give little break, your breakfast break. The next is there are few more examples we'll see. Okay. Next examples will be here is changing list of values, and then displaying the AOL messages. Change LOV is another example, and then pop-up messages. Pop messages. These two will see in the next. If you're okay, I can teach right away also. Who is signing in? You have signed out because you are currently signing another device. Okay, get out, guys. This is not that much complicated to get out, correct?